there's a very weird line with WoW. Again, it's the same thing that Ian always talks about with how like there are so many different types of players in World of Warcraft. It's really fucking wild to me.
Yeah.
But the thing is like you are playing an MMO RPG. You are playing an RPG. And the people that are maybe kind of like, oh, I don't want to go and fight the jailer. I want to go to another planet. I haven't cleaned my room in 10,000 years.
10,000 years in filth and darkness. What have you sacrificed?
I am the doomer that crawls. But like, yeah, I don't know. I think like it's often at odds with people that just want to do content and log off, right?
Sure.
And then you have the other people that are like, I want this shit. And in some ways, like I think Blizzard wants to give this to people. Most of the people that I know at Blizzard are tabletop nerds.
Yeah.
Like a lot, not to like, I found out, and this made me cry,
awesome.
that I found out a couple people at WoW actually have like Woople content. And they know me.
That's so
And like
cool.
it made me weep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, like they are
It's
also
humbling.
nerds about this stuff. And I don't think that people really kind of appreciate that. I don't think that people appreciate that
I
the
don't
people
either.
that are making this content love it just as much as you do. And at this point, with how old like
If not
I
more.
am, yeah, well, like we've grown up with it now. I'm
Yeah.
37, okay? Like I grew up with WoW.
Yeah.
And that means that the people that are there now at the apex of their careers that are finally getting jobs in the industry have grown up with this game. They love it just as much as you do. They want it to thrive. And I think that like a lot of people get really fucking doomer about it.
Yeah.
And they don't really actually like I don't think they see the devs as humans. I don't think that they
I've had a
look
whole
at
rant
them-
about this. I agree, 100% agree. It's like there's like a disconnect because there's a corporate entity, and it makes it really hard for some people to like just stop and appreciate the individuals for who they are. And I'll like call certain people out. Like Ann Stickney has come to the stream and said that she saw my Blue Dragon questline playthrough, and I just like you, I fucking cried. I was like, dude, that's insane.
yeah.
Like I can't believe that the person who made the art like even cares about my reaction to it at all. Like it's just like I couldn't even fathom that. And that really was a big turning point for me when I came back after my big hiatus, from WoW, and it was those kinds of moments that made me realize like, holy fuck, dude, like just like everyone else, they're just like regular people that really care and want us to realize these things. And that's why it's so frustrating when I get deep into what I do, like what we're doing today, and I get people that are like, but do you really think they think about it that deep? And I'm like, yes. Yes.
They do.
Of course they
If
do.
you
Like
think
what?
that you don't understand. Okay, I'm gonna say. Okay, you know what?
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna say this with my full ass chest.
Not so nuclear take coming right here, Chad. Here we go.
I think that if you don't think, I'm going to say this specifically with one caveat before. I am not talking about C-Suite. C-Suite is a separate entity from the devs that make the props, that make the visuals that we're looking at right now, or did make these visuals back in the day. Like the people that are out here who want to make this stuff, who are working on quests, who are doing the Blue Dragon quest line, all of those people want to make this stuff because they love the game. They fucking love the game. I hope this doesn't affect my chances. Blizzard does not pay as well as a lot of other devs. You work at Blizzard because you want to fucking work on that project because you are passionate about it. Okay? Like most of the time, there are a lot of people that work at Blizzard and then they jump to places like Riot, or they jump to other places where the pay is better.
So I have my Steve the Newser as well.
Yeah, and like, and I wish that, hey Blizzard, if you're listening, please pay your artists more, please.
Yeah.
And please stop trying to replace your artists with AI. And we love the game. We want to make it for people that make stuff anyway. But I think that the people out there who don't understand the sheer amount of love that goes into creation, the sheer amount of thought. And I mean thought. I mean, like, when I'm making a painting, I am thinking about every single detail and how it guides your eye across everything. Okay? I am composing that piece so that your eye goes exactly where I want it to at all times. You think you're experiencing okay, this would sound very like
here's the art ego.
Like, You think that you're experiencing the art, but you don't realize that I am right there, guiding your eye everywhere through there with
Beautifully
decisions
said.
and choices that I made a long time ago. And there is the people that don't understand and don't appreciate art, and I mean this as the literal, like, science that it is, the literal art that it is, the sheer amount of, like, knowledge that you have to be able to create the things that you do. They don't appreciate that, and they think that everyone's just kind of coming out here and being like, "I make pretty stuff, and here's a rock. It's
Yeah.
cool." And you're like, "No, that's literally not what's happening,"
No.
right? Like, we are thinking about every small little detail, how things flow into other little things. And like sometimes I will agree that there is probably some C-suite kind of intervention that forces things to go in specific ways. And like
Sure.
sometimes when you look at the concept art for the game, there's beautiful fucking like scenes and just
Yeah, the
the sheer
skyboxes of Maldraxxus that I saw in the concept art are way better than what's in the game.
yeah.
It's like,
And
dude,
usually there's
please.
been a couple times with some of the designs where I'm like, this would have been insanely beautiful.
Yes.
And there's somebody somewhere who made a decision to force it a different way, or maybe the engine couldn't handle it, or maybe it was causing crashes or something like that. You know, there's like all kinds of things with that too, especially with an engine this old.
Those are
But
things I
like,
don't really even consider, honestly, like as a player of like, was it causing instability or like what
yeah,
was it an issue in the engine or things that like I think that the average person who's never really had to consider those things for design doesn't really even think about.
I mean, one of the things that I think is the nerdiest fucking shit about WoW is their new airlock system. Their new when you they did it with uh what you call in Dragonflight with Zerla Caverns, where you are in a loading screen as you fly through the caverns into Zerla Caverns.
Yep, don't even
But you're not
realize it.
and you don't even wear and it's actually what's happening right now in the War Within. Every time you go down the coreway and you're flying through that, you are flying through a loading screen. And it's one of actually the things, a little WoW lore, is that made WoW stand out so much was that there were no loading screens because you could just walk into a cave. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you have loading screens for like dungeons and stuff like that. But like most of the games at the time, there was a loading screen to get into a cave.
Yeah,
And you
just
could just walk
just
into
outdoor
it.
cave stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually, to be honest, it's one of the things that's kept me from Final Fantasy 14 is like how
Yeah.
rigid it is.
It's
And
so complicated to like navigate
yeah.
the map if you're new and like you just said, the rigidity of the zones and how they're constructed is
Mhm.
it's definitely not a favorite of mine, that's for sure.
Yeah. But anyway, this has been my
No, thank you very much.
love the devs, give them the love that they when they post their artwork, go follow them on social media.
Yeah.
Find them on when they're doing their big art dumps. Like give them the love that they need. Like because we're artists, we want the feedback. When we're making stuff, we're making it for you. And there's something I think that I know this specifically because like I work from home and it can be very lonely. I joke that when I go to conventions, I get like a sudden burst of everyone being like, "Oh my god!" and then I go back to silence and my cat, right? And and it can be, and in a way, like you kind of have your chat, right, for feedback, for better or worse sometimes.
Yeah.
Love you guys, but anyway.
Yeah,
But
well,
like,
I ask
and
for it sometimes.
but at the same time, like when you're working at a company like that and you're an artist, you don't necessarily get the chance to go and talk to people and listen to them geek out about your artwork or your quests and stuff like that. And I think that they deserve a lot more love and attention and praise for like the work that they do. So this has been
I
my
agree.
my love letter to all of the devs on WoW, and that you guys are wonderful. So
Yeah,
yeah.
round of applause.
Yeah.
Nice little I appreciate that. Yeah, I really do think it's very underappreciated. I think it's understated the amount of time and dedication and work it takes to really put any project, especially one that's this long lasting and this huge, really across its scope. Like for this, I don't know. It's really
Well,
insane, and so yeah,
well, I mean,
even though I'm not.
something to put in perspective. Like when I did Lorcana, like oh, thank you, call me Razzie. That's very sweet. I'm gonna cry. But when you're working on a project like that, um, you're under NDA. You can't even tell anybody about the things that you're doing. Like I was on the Lorcana project 2 years before it ever came out, right? Like,
Dang.
and like you have 2 years of silence no feedback other than what you've been working on with your art director, and then you have this moment and just like waiting for people to like see stuff and like, and I have the privilege of being uh, like a somewhat famous artist. I maybe even I'm underselling myself, but like
Maybe a little
that
bit.
yeah, like look, if I really think about it too hard, I will literally melt and fall apart. So like sometimes I have to like I'm like it doesn't exist. I'm by
It's good.
myself.
It's good. I
Yeah,
think
but
it's
like
good.
yeah, but like specifically like these artists are out here working on stuff. Like I saw on social media that the player housing has been in development for almost 2 years at this point.
Yeah.
These people have been working on that for two
And I already
years
see
of
people
their
saying like,
life.
"Oh, I get to go in and decorate my square, no windowed apartment." I'm like, "Shut
Oh
up,
my
dude!
god.
You have no
Ugh.
idea. Just like shut up."
No, and like, and I know that they're doing amazing work, and there is the separation between I think art and the art department, and then the actual like development department, and like the actual like higher ups like actually fucking listening now with the whole thing with Ian, like with the interview there. Like I think that a lot of Shadowlands burn out a lot of artists because they were not being listened to.
Yeah.
Like for example, Teldrassil was extremely unpopular with the people in Blizzard. Everyone puts umbrella over all of Blizzard when they don't
Yes.
realize, and this happens so often with internet bullshit, is that people don't realize that their hatred is supposed to be pointed at something else, and they just go to the first target. But yeah, I just again give the devs love. They are thinking
Yes.
about a lot of stuff. They're making love
Love
letters
our
to you all the
devs.
time. So yeah.